Quilters Day Out Louisville kicks off March's National Quilting Month with a gathering of the guilds. And joining me now is Vivian Armstrong, Connie Newton, and Debbie Hofflick. And tell me, ladies, why are you so excited to be here? And tell me about Quilters Day Out.
Well, for you who don't know, Quilters Day Out started out in 1990 as a gathering of the guilds. There's guilds, quilting guilds all around the Louisville area, and it just started like a sit and sew. Where they would bring their sewing and they would sit and have a sack lunch. And now it has evolved into a full day event. We have vendors, guilds, we have door prize baskets, lectures. What else can you, I mean, it's just
a lot to do.
Oh yes, there's a lot to do, so you won't be bored.
And tell me too, Debbie, why are you a part of this association and why do you enjoy it?
I've been making quilts for several years, and I've actually just recently joined a guild, so I've been in for a year.
Okay.
And it's just a fun thing to do.
And Vivian, can you show me some of these quilts? Why did we choose to bring some of these today?
Yes, we chose to bring this quilt because it was the winner of our last year's Quilters Day Out Challenge, which was quilts that tell a story. And the story of this quilt is these blocks that are embroidered were given to a quilter. And the quilter took the blocks and made it into a quilt. And she ended up with enough blocks to make 2 wall hangings. So she rewarded the person that gave her those blocks with a quilt of her own. And this quilt was also entered in the Kentucky State Fair and won a blue ribbon. Connie, would you like to tell about your quilts?
Our challenge this year at Quilters Day Out, and it's kind of for quilters to enter their quilts, and it's a basic 9-patch. This is actually a disappearing 9-patch pattern, and I know it's hard to see, but you start out with 9 basic squares, and you can cut it if you want and put it back together, and so this is called a disappearing 9-patch.
And how many hours would something like this take?
I probably have a couple of months in this, just on my spare time. So it's not anything you can do, you know, quickly. But you could piece this together, you know, in 2 or 3 weeks. And then it's machine quilted, and then hand the bindings put on by hand. So there's some hand work in that too.
And before we go, tell me about your charity that you're hoping people will support this weekend.
Our charity this year is Feed the City. And Feed the City is an organization here in town at 1100 26th Street. The executive director is Dr. Coleman, Larry Coleman, and we're asking that the attendees bring gift cards, cash, or checks. And Feed the City provides a hot meal, shelter, and clothing to the needy 365 days a year. So this is a very good charity for us to support.
All right, well, Vivian, Debbie, and Connie, thank you so much for joining us. And it's Quilters Day Out Louisville is this Saturday from 9 to 3 p.m. at Paraket Springs Conference Center. That's in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. And the cost to get in is $6 plus an item for Feed the City.